All right, it looks like we are live. Okay, so I'm going to get started. I am so excited to be here. This is our third live Q&A that we're doing for Get Healthy U TV members and anyone who wants to join in on it. I am Chris Freytag. I'm so happy to be here. Can't wait to hang out with you and talk to you for an hour and answer your questions. Today, my moderator is another one of my editors. I'm introducing you to all my editors. This time, it is the lovely Miss Kate Lang. Hi, Kate.
Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for having me tonight.
Yep, so Kate is going to be moderating all of the questions, and we'll just get right into it. Let's do it, Kate.
Great. So our first question is going to come from Patty, and she's wondering what exercises she can do to tone and tighten her thighs and legs.
Tone and tighten her thighs and legs. Well, you know, the lower body, the most effective exercises, and I talk a lot about this in the Get Healthy U TV workouts, squats and lunges. They incorporate inner thigh, outer thigh, quads, hamstring, glutes. They're great exercises. If you want a little less impact to the knees, some people say their knees start to get a little sore from too many squats and lunges. Glute bridges are awesome. Deadlifts are a good exercise. They just have to be done properly. Otherwise, they can be hard on your low back. So sometimes I shy away from them. But any of you who are deadlifters, we have an article on deadlifting, so I can help you out. Let's see. But, you know, there are other exercises. Pliés, and we're going to be adding, you GHU TV members, we're adding a bar program starting on March 1st, or approximately then. So you'll enjoy that too.
Great. All right, Sherry's asking, can you recommend any supplements to increase your metabolism?
Well, that's kind of an interesting question. I'm not a supplement person to try to improve your body, if you will, improve your body composition. I mean, to increase your metabolism, I guess I would almost just say no. Now, how do you improve your metabolism? You put muscle on your body. Muscle burns more calories to resting heart rate than body fat, and muscle is a more metabolic tissue, meaning it needs more calories to stay alive. So if you have more muscle, your body's constantly churning to keep up with that muscle. If you have more body fat on your body, then your body doesn't need as many calories to stay alive. So if you want to improve your metabolism, you don't necessarily need supplements. You need to get some muscle. Now, if you're talking about supplements for health, like to stay healthier, I take fish oil because fish oil is great for your joints, it's great for your organs, it's great for a lot of bodily functions. And if I'm not eating a lot of fish at this time of year in Minnesota, then I take fish oil. I do take a lot of omegas. I also eat flaxseed. I take vitamin D because you can see, you know, it's a little dark here right now, and so I take vitamin D at this time of year. I do take vitamin C when I've got like a little bit of cold like I do now. So I do take those kinds of supplements to improve my health. But since you directed the question at metabolism, I hope I answered it.
That's a good answer. Tammy has another question related to nutrition, and it's about eating enough before a workout. So Tammy's eating a salad with a lean protein about 45 minutes before her cardio workout every day. And some days she gets through her workout no problem, and other days she ends up being really shaky. What could be the reason for this shakiness post-workout?
Okay, so she must be exercising. Hello, maybe Tammy's listening. She must be exercising not in the morning because nobody's eating a salad at 5 in the morning, I don't think.
Nope. It's after lunch.
After lunch. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't listen. I wasn't listening completely. Okay, here's my answer. So lean protein before a workout is fine. Salad is fine, but really before a workout, like if you've been sitting at your desk and your body's been churning through your work all morning, what you need is a carbohydrate. Now let me explain. We've had this question every single webinar we've done, so let's talk about what you eat before, what you eat after, and that might cover several of our questions. What you should eat before is something that will readily turn to glucose in your system. Your body might be low on glucose, and glucose, which is converted sugar, and I'm not talking about like yicky white sugar and hidden sugars in your food, but like good sugar from fruits and veggies and stuff, that fuels your body. And so if you're low on glucose, you might feel a little low on energy or shaky, or if you're low on electrolytes like potassium, magnesium, and sodium. So you could drink something like, I like some real pure coconut waters. I like Aspire beverage, which is a natural Gatorade. I guess that's the best way I could explain it. or perhaps like just adding some piece of fruit to that salad or half a banana or something would give you that glucose.
Sure.
After a workout, you should eat protein. That's when you need the protein. Your muscles are all, think of your muscles as getting all, like all the little fibers getting torn up, and it's like they're sponges. They're ready to accept those amino acids from the protein, and you want to eat that protein within 2 hours of your workout to feed your muscles so they're ready for the next workout. And I would say, you know, what people say is if you could eat that protein within 45 minutes, that's the best choice, but up to 2 hours. So you never want to work out and then starve yourself for the next 3 hours. You're kind of doing yourself and your muscles a disservice. Get a little bit of protein, lean protein or healthy protein after that. And it can be combined with carbohydrates and with healthy fats and so forth. It's not, you don't have to eat it straight. Now, back to before. I think I really want to explain this because I think, you know, especially you Get Healthy You TV members who are working out, I love it. I want to explain how your body burns fuel. So here's how it is. When you exercise, you have two fuels in your body, converted glucose and fat, body fat. So you're kind of like this. They're like dual jet engines. They're going like this. And so here's the most important part of this. When you're working out slowly, you burn more body fat. There's more oxygen present. You're burning more body fat. When you work out harder, you're burning more glucose. So people will say, well, then I should walk slow because I'll burn more body fat. But here's the thing. It'll take you for freaking ever to burn that body fat. You're going to have to walk for the rest of your life. So you want to pick up your heart rate. Even if you're burning glucose, you're going to burn calories at a faster heart rate. I hope that makes sense. Because at the end of the day, to lose body fat, it's really about less calories in, more calories out, okay? But there's another point I want to make. Glucose is the pilot light for body fat. If you run out of glucose, so to answer Tammy's question about feeling shaky and feeling kind of not as energetic sometimes, if you run out of glucose, fat stops burning also. They work in tandem. Glucose is the pilot light to body fat. So if you run out of glucose, your body fat shuts off. What are you going to start burning? Muscle. And that's exactly what you don't want to do. So people will tell me, I gained weight training for a marathon. And I understand how that could happen because they're not fueling properly after their workouts or during their workouts. They're lacking glucose, so they're burning muscle as they're running, and then they overeat the calories to compensate, and they end up gaining weight. So at the end of the day, a little carbohydrate or something like a piece of fruit is what a lot of people can stomach. Some people can stomach things like dairy prior, but others can't. And then get your workout in, and then protein after. But I really want to make that point about how your body burns fat because I had a question. Oh my gosh, how could my phone be ringing? I'm so sorry, everybody. My husband's flying home tonight, and of course he's calling. I really want to make that point about your two fuels, glucose and converted sugars and body fat, because people think if they exercise on an empty stomach, they're doing themselves a big favor, right? They're going to burn more body fat, but that is not true. If you have no glucose in your system, your body fat shuts down also. So I want to make that really clear so you guys all get, and at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Go for high intensity intervals. That's what I was going to say. Somebody asked on Facebook today, and I answered them, should I do low intensity workouts to burn more body fat? I heard that's effective. Well, like I just said, I know you guys, this is the longest question ever, but I'm just trying to be really thorough. You know, like I said, you'll burn more body fat moving at a slower pace, but you're going to have to walk for freaking ever to burn up all those calories. You are better off going high intensity, burning it up, getting that heart trained to be able to work at higher heart rates, burn more calories, and you'll have better results.
Great.
Okay.
All right.
Was that too long?
You've got great questions coming in. Keep them coming, guys. Mindy's asking, she just turned 50, and she can tell she's losing a lot of muscle tone. What do you suggest for her to increase that and firm up a bit?
Oh my goodness. Well, I just turned 50 October 31st too, my friends. So welcome to the 50s. Yeah, you know what? After the age of about 30, 35, us ladies start to lose about a pound to a half a pound to a pound of muscle a year if we're not actively replacing it. So you want to be working your muscles. So you've got, you know, it gets a little harder, it does. And, you know, but I always look at everything as a positive, like turn everything into a positive. It is a little harder, but as we get a little older, perhaps we have a little more time on our hands too. I just got off the phone with my sister who's running around with 3 little kids, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember that. So the point, oh my heavens, the point is that you really want to, okay, I got sidetracked. This is that menopause brain. What am I even talking about, Kate?
She just turned 50, and she's trying to tone up and increase her muscle a little bit.
Yeah.
What would you suggest?
So thank you. Oh my gosh, you guys, you're getting the real me right now. Like I'm having because my phone is ringing and I'm trying to turn that off on my computer and I forgot what I was talking about. So, you know, if you're actively replacing muscle, listen, there's no age where it's too late to build muscle. Women in their 60s and 70s are building muscle. So you're just going to have to work a little harder at it. I don't know if you've tried definitions on Get Healthy U TV, but give that program a try. It's straight, it's straight strength training, and you might like it.
Great. Kim asked this question, but we actually got this from several different people. Kim has an 18-year-old son, and she's very physically active. She's working out regularly, but she just can't get her tummy and core area to tighten up no matter what she does. What do you suggest, aside from surgery, to tighten up that tummy area?
Okay, and so she said she had an 18-year-old son or 18-month-old son?
18-year-old.
Okay, I got a 19-year-old. I hear you. And, you know, I bet you're saying that to make the point like, hey, it's been a long time and I still can't tone it up. You know,
Yes.
That's pretty normal. Well, a couple of things. First of all, you can, strength train and do. I like Pilates for those of us as we're aging and after childbirth because it's easier on the body. Kate, who's my moderator today, is also a Pilates instructor.
Oh.
Yeah. So we both love Pilates because it is really thoughtful movement. It is effective movement, and you learn how to pull in your low abs. So training all of those core muscles underneath is really important. And then the upholstery, as I call it, or the extra padding on the outside, can be removed through cardio and through, burning off more calories. And as you're building muscle, you're getting stronger and your metabolism's raising. Now, if you have extra skin, if you've got rolls of skin after childbirth, it happens. It happens to the best of us. That I'm a realist. Those of you who know me or who work out with me know that I'm never going to tell you, like, do this exercise and you're going to look amazing in a day because, everybody knows that's not true. As we get older, in our 40s and 50s and 60s, we go, okay, that is not true. So I'm going to tell you the truth. Sometimes loose skin cannot completely be taken away. But if you can kind of flatten that belly underneath and get rid of a little bit of the belly fat, if you do have rolls, dress for success. Abs have always been my asset, but I got to tell you, at this point in my life, it's not like I'm walking around in a string bikini. There are a lot of really cute fashions where you don't have to, if you can kind of tighten those muscles up, you can wear cute flowy tops and leggings and all those kinds of things. So I hope that answers your question. I do want to say about the abs. You've got your vertical muscle, which is called the rectus abdominis. That's that crunching muscle. That's that six-pack. You've got your twisting muscles, which are your obliques, and those are responsible for a lot of everyday movement. Because if you think about it, there's very few things that you do straight on. Most of the time, you're reaching for things and you're twisting. And then you've got your transverse abdominis, which goes around your body like a belt, like a human girdle. And that's that muscle that gets loose after childbirth or with age if you aren't actively training it. So you just want to pull that muscle in, belly to the spine. We do, the Definitions program has a 30-minute Pilates focused workout. Almost all of the programs, the HIIT workout has a 30-minute core. There's a couple 10-minute belly blasts at Get Healthy U TV. So give some of those a try. And listen, we are all beautiful. As we get older, there's one thing we get to know, and beauty is from within. But
that's the truth.
I don't ever want you to lose hope.
Okay, we've got another question coming from Amy. She's wondering if you're going to be offering more recipes online, and if so, when?
Okay, that's a great question. So for all you GHU TVers, we like to call that we have two websites, okay? GHU, Get Healthy U, is a free website. That's where we have tons of information and lots of articles and stuff about lifestyle and feeling good. And we have, like, literally, I don't know, Kate, would you say we have 500, 1,000 recipes? I don't even know.
About that, yeah.
About 1,000 recipes. Tons. So go to gethealthyu.com. We share them all the time on gethealthyu.tv.com. So all the recipes housed on Get Healthy U, all the workouts are on Get Healthy U TV. So, and we'll post them back and forth, but use Get Healthy U as your recipe resource. And I got to tell you, we are gaga about healthy recipes. Like, we talk about it all day in the office. So you've got to try some of them. We post them on Facebook. I hope you're getting all of our newsletters, which we highlight a lot of our favorites. So
great. Pam's wondering about some weight loss issues she's having. She joined Weight Watchers in January. She's lost 4 pounds, but she's begun exercising more frequently, losing weight. Why is this?
So you kind of froze up a little bit. So she joined Weight Watchers and has lost about 4 pounds, but she's exercising regularly. So does she feel like she's not losing weight fast enough?
She's saying since she began exercising, she's stopped losing weight. Okay. How could that be?
Well, a couple of things. First of all, since I don't know you personally, and I don't know if you're adhering to the diet, but I'll assume that you are. Exercising, you probably aren't gaining weight. You're maybe not losing weight at the same rate, and perhaps you're adding muscle. Now, it's not like you can add 4 pounds of muscle in a month. That takes a while to add that muscle, but you could be replacing some of that lost body fat with muscle. So what I tell women to do is really go for, how do your clothes fit? Do they feel any different? Do your jeans, I always, we have an article called Zip Your Jeans Up Once a Week, because nowadays with all of us wearing leggings and stuff, it's like, you forget to zip those jeans up and see how they feel. But if your clothes feel better, if you feel like your arms feel a little tighter, if you feel like you just feel a little better, then that muscle might be, coming on as you are reducing body fat. And you could put 3 150-pound women right next to each other, and they could be 3 completely different sizes. We could range from a size 4 to a size 12, and everybody could weigh the same on the scale. So sometimes weight can be deceiving. So keep up the good work. Weight Watchers is a good program. I love that they finally, now they say fruits and vegetables are free. It used to bug me that they used to restrict you from fruit because it's it's nature's natural sugar. So anyway, keep up the good work. Maybe you're building muscle, which would be awesome.
Marie's asking if it's okay that she works out every day, or does your body need a day of rest?
Good question. I'm kind of laughing at myself because I'm looking at the bottom of my computer. Does it look like I'm looking down? Kate?
No.
No? Okay. For all of you at home, you're probably like, what are you doing looking at the bottom of your computer? Because that's where I can see the little screen. Okay, say that again. I'm sorry.
Pam is wondering if she can work out every day, or does your body need 1 day of rest?
That's a great question. I'm a fan of 1 day of rest just for your body and your joints and everything to just kind of get that rest. But it all depends on how hard you're working out. To walk every day, no problem. You can walk 365 days a year. Do it. I suggest it. It's necessary. Strength training, it's all about how you feel. So if you do a workout and your muscles are super sore, and you've got that, delayed onset muscle soreness, as they call it, DOMS, or you just, sometimes people are sore right away, then yeah, that's your body saying, I need a little break to let those muscles repair with protein and then go at it again. So you kind of have to be a little intuitive. If your brain and body are saying, I need a break, then give it a break. If your workouts are moderate and you feel good every day and you're not feeling like you're lacking energy, then go ahead and work out every day. Here's what happens to me. When I'm overtraining, which means like I'm doing some pretty intense workouts every day, I start to notice that my body breaks down, my heart rate doesn't get as high. That's kind of the telltale for me. Like, I can't get my heart rate up as high, and it's just my body's sign of saying, hey, take a day or 2 off and come back at it. So I hope that helps.
Some questions regarding supplements. In particular, she's wondering if you're familiar with Juice Plus and Plexus, which is used for losing weight, and what you think of both of those.
Plexus, did you say?
Plexus.
Okay, I don't know Plexus. I do know Juice Plus. And Juice Plus is fine. I have had about 30 people try to sell me Juice Plus. And when my kids were little, I tried it for a little while, and they liked the gummies. But here's the deal. I guess I just really wanted to teach my family how to eat fruits and vegetables, not have to take a gummy bear or a tablet to get their fruits and veggies. And I know we're all busy, but that's something I talk about all the time is, how to food prep, how to carry your fruits and vegetables with you, how to, Kate, we talk about it all the time in the office. I mean, how to eat more real food. You're going to just get more nutrients delivered. I always think, how that's just not the best example or the best way to get them in. And I don't know the efficacy or how great that product is, but I've heard from people Juice Plus is great. I'm just a fan of all the things that are easy to eat, fruits and vegetables on your own. I know nothing about Plexus, but I'm not a fan. I did see there was even a question about fat burners. I couldn't tell you a single thing about fat burners, and I'll tell you why. Because there's no such thing. Anyone who tells you that they're going to sell you a fat burner, in my opinion, is taking your money, because there are foods that might raise your heart rate a little bit, like a spicy food or something, but there's no such thing as, you know what? It's all about hard work and consistency and eating healthy. So that's why I hope you guys are working out with me on Get Healthy You TV.
We've got another question about supplements and protein powders, in particular powders, actually. The first one is from someone who's having issues with getting gas from her protein powder and what that could be a symptom of. And the second one is wondering if you have heard about pea protein powder and what your opinion is of that.
Okay, so protein powder is a great supplement if you need it. So here's what I'll say. You don't have to have protein powder to get fit. Some people think, oh, I need to drink a protein shake after every workout. It's one form of protein. After a workout, you could eat nuts with a piece of fruit. You could eat almond butter. You could eat an egg. You could eat any form of protein, a piece of chicken, whatever it is that works for you. A lot of people like a protein shake. Or if you're in a hurry, like I kind of like protein shakes in the morning because I'm always taking my breakfast a lot of times with me or eating it on the go as I'm moving around my kitchen, so I love protein shakes. That being said, if you are going to supplement, there are different types of protein, and it depends on if you are a vegetarian, if you eat dairy, etc. So whey protein is by far the most readily usable by your muscles. Okay, so athletes love whey protein because those amino acids are, and it's high in leucine, and it's easy to use. It's easy for your muscles to use it. So I love whey protein, but the deal is some people don't eat anything that's dairy related, so then they might go for a pea protein. Pea protein is a great plant protein. I'm a fan of pea. I'm a fan of hemp. They have a little different taste, like a little chalkier, but I personally like them. And I will sometimes, I like a brand called, I don't know if it's, I think it's Vega, not Vega, V-E-G-A. I was actually tweeting with them the other day, but they have a great plant-based protein line of protein powders. Here's the deal with soy. You have to be super careful with soy because for some of us, we don't want to take in too much soy. And the other thing is you want to make sure it's not genetically modified. So if you are going to use a soy protein, make sure it's non-GMO. That would be my advice to you. So there's no right protein. I tend to use whey protein in the mornings because I like the taste, and it doesn't give me any gas. Now, back to the gas question. Take a look at the label on the protein powder you're buying, because sometimes you're just buying plain old protein powder, where all it is tasteless protein powder that you mix into a blender with your own fruits and your own, like maybe almond milk or coconut water, whatever it is. And that's the kind of protein powder I like, where it doesn't have all these additives. But some of these protein powders have a whole bunch of stuff added into them, and they've got, if they have a list of like 50 ingredients, some of those chemicals and additives might be giving you gas. I've heard that before, so check the label for sure.
Okay, sounds good. Esther is wondering how she can firm up her arms and her abs and what exercises you would suggest for her.
Arms and abs, arms and abs. Arms, buns, abs, the three places people talk about the most. And that's normal. There's not one right way to firm up your abs. Someone asked on Facebook today, so what do you think of crunches? This guy had written an article completely tearing apart crunches and Russian twists and saying they're worthless. They are not worthless. They are not effective alone if that is the only exercise you ever do for your abs is a crunch. The only thing a crunch really uses is your crunching muscle, that vertical rectus abdominis, so it's not a complete program, but it's not a bad exercise added with others. It's just not the be-all, end-all in an ab exercise. So what you want to do to tone your abs is well-rounded ab routine. You want to use, and if you were listening a little earlier, I kind of went through all the ab muscles. You want to work your muscles in different directions in all four of your ab muscles, internal, external, obliques, your vertical rectus abdominis and your transverse abdominis, which is that human girdle. So you want a well-rounded program. Same thing about the arms. You don't want to just do your bicep. You've got to do your tricep. You want to get those shoulders a little more sculpted because then they make the arms look better. So it's all about a well-sculpted routine. And if you are a GHU TV member, I'm here to help you. That's what our routines are all about. I put together mixed up routines so that you're really well-rounding, you know, all your muscles. You're sculpting your body. You're getting different exercises in all your ab routines. And not only because it's better for sculpting your muscles, but it's also better for your mind. I mean, how many times you want to bang your head against a wall doing the same 2 exercises every day? You want to add a little variety to keep your mind in the game.
Getting back to GHU TV, we have a great question about that. Judy's really interested in joining GHU TV. Hi, Judy. And thinks the $7 is a great fee, but she's not sure exactly what she would get for her money. Does she get 1 workout, 1 hour-long class, or is it just showing you 1 exercise when you join?
Okay, so if you are joining Get Healthy UTV and joining the membership, and most of you have joined with the annual membership, because I want you to know something. So my team, including Kate, they're amazing women. I love my team. And maybe some of you who listened last time met Claire or Lexi. I have a team of 7 ladies, and they're just so fabulous. But when we were putting this whole thing together, Get Healthy UTV for me is kind of like, well, I call it my 4th baby because it's been a lot of work, my friends. You know, but I knew that technology is changing. I don't even have a DVD player in my house anymore, so I really wanted to move with the times. And the other goal for me in my heart was to make fitness accessible for all women. I've been teaching in a health club for 18 years. I get to see all these women and men every day in my classes, and I have this great community of people that I work out with. But it's not affordable for everybody. A lot of people don't have the time. I talk to single parents all the time that tell me, listen, I'm commuting, I'm, you know, spending all my money on these things for my kids and this and that, and I just don't have an extra ounce of income or time to put into my own body. So Get Healthy UTV was really that for me, making it accessible so that everybody can afford it. So when you look at the monthly fee, and some of you are getting some of the special deals we send out because we do little, you know, premium prices every so often, but you're getting the benefit for under $5 a month, which is like a latte. You know, so I hope you guys are all thinking it's really affordable. Now, what do you get when you join? You get all of my videos. So when you join, you're entering a portal, and those of you who are members know you can see all the programs, you get access to all the videos all the time, anywhere, any device, any time of day. And currently we have about 30 plus videos up there. Every month we are adding a new program. So I'll give you a little insight. So far all of the programs have been me, and I hope you guys aren't sick of me yet working out with me. But we are adding a new program with my friend. She's darling and a little younger than me, starting in March, and it's a bar program. Then we have another metabolism program coming. We have a dance program coming from a very well-known instructor who is also a dear friend of mine, and she has got a really fun dance program. We have an amazing yoga program coming. All of these will be building. So by, you know, in the next year, every month we're adding you a new program. So you get access to all of it. We do have tutorials for all of you who are saying, well, I don't know how to get it. Well, case in point, I was just at my sister's house in Phoenix, and she said, and she's younger than me, so we were kind of giggling because she's like, I can't get this Get Healthy UTV on my TV. And I'm like, you can't figure it out? So I showed her how to airdrop it to her Apple TV, or maybe you take an HDMI cord. We have all of those tutorials on Get Healthy UTV to help you. But that being said, you get access to everything all the time forever. Now, some people have asked me, well, why does it say there's a download price underneath the video? So I really want to explain that. You know, some of you might be going on vacation, like Kate, to Mexico. Kate just got home from Mexico. And so you might want to download it so it's on your computer, so that when you go to another country or you're in a place where there isn't great Wi-Fi, that you have that favorite workout of yours on your computer, and you don't have to stream it. It's just there for you. You would never want to download all the workouts because it would take up your hard drive. And you know, that's what technology is all about today, is streaming. So if you want to download a video, then you pay the extra download to get that permanently on your hard drive for life. I hope I'm making sense. But otherwise, if you join Get Healthy UTV, you have access to absolutely everything. But I hope you will also then stay, a part of our Get Healthy You Facebook community. I hope you will check out the Get Healthy You website for all of our recipes. And it's really kind of a little community between Get Healthy You and Get Healthy You TV. I also want to tell all of you who are joining Get Healthy You TV, you do get a 40-page how to eat clean guide when you first join too. So it's got a lot of stuff about stocking your pantry and stuff like that. So I hope that answers your question. I hope you will join Get Healthy You TV.
It's a great guide too. It's a really great guide. Okay, we've got another one. What exercises do you recommend during pregnancy?
Well, you know what? There's kind of a rule of thumb with that. Whatever you've been doing for the last 6 months, you can continue to do. So I see a lot of pregnant women at the gym who are working out fairly hard, but they've been doing it for the last 6 months, so their body is attuned to that. So if you have not been exercising, then, and no matter what, when you get pregnant, you need to consult your doctor. But based on how you feel, if you are not completely morning sick, some people in their first trimester are just horribly sick and they can't exercise. Some people feel pretty good. Usually by the second trimester, you're feeling pretty good. I would say you could stick with some pretty regular exercise and just keeping your heart rate in a safe zone, which you can talk to your doctor about. Usually it's about under 140, depending on your fitness level. But until like that third trimester. And then when the belly starts to get big, I remember being at that point where I was like, oh my gosh, I can walk. Squatting was a little uncomfortable with my third one. I started to do a little bit more low impact. I was doing, just some easier movements. We have a program called Walk and Tone on Get Healthy You TV, and that's a program that keeps you fairly off the floor and some low impact cardio, so that's a good one too.
Good. Mandy's asking the fastest way to get muscle definition. Would it be using TRX, body resistance, or using fast intervals like we were talking about earlier?
Okay, well, there's no right way to get from point A to point B. It's all about what you like and what you will do. TRX is a great system. It uses your body weight. Push-ups, squats, lunges, tricep dips. I mean, those are hard. Those are body weight exercises. Picking up free weights, dumbbells. Great way to get toned. It's really about resistance. So whether it's your own body or it's those weights, it's about consistency and pushing it. Now, I love high intensity intervals, and you guys probably know that if you're doing my programs, because they get the best bang for your buck. You raise that metabolism because you're going to get, a little bit of afterburn because your heart rate gets so high. You're going to burn a lot of calories. In my programs, I'm also incorporating weights, so you're strength training while you're strength training while you're getting your heart rate up. So it's like you're getting your cardio and your strength done in the same workout. And that's a very quick way to see some more definition and results. There are a lot of studies also. We were talking about this in the office today. There are a lot of studies out there that prove high-intensity interval training is one of the fastest ways to get to results. Now, if you aren't really ready for that yet, you're just kind of working your way up to it, do the modifications. Take it a little easier. Aspire to it. No, you weren't born to be perfect. My favorite saying is progress, not perfection. There's no such thing as being perfect, and perfect people are kind of boring anyway. When you're a little quirky and flawed, people really like you, just so you know. So it's all about, finding a way to, to stick with it and really push yourself. So I am a fan of high intensity. And by the way, we have a HIIT program, which is all Tabata intervals. The Power 20 program is a ton of intervals and circuits. The definitions is mostly strength, but we do move in circuits. And the Rock Your Body boot camp is some intense circuits. So check those all out.
Chris, what kind of exercises do you suggest for people who have knee pain or bad knees? How could
Very common. Very common, because knees get abused over the years. Whether you were an athlete and, had a sport that put some pressure on your knees, or you're a runner, or maybe you haven't exercised in a long time and you have a little extra weight, so there's pressure on those joints. Start out slowly. You got to strengthen those muscles around the knees. So maybe you squat less deep, you lunge less deep, you plie less deep. You start with something like Walk and Tone, where you're getting the opportunity, or Move to Lose. That's also another beginner program that's really good to just kind of get you going. Things like glute bridges on your back, so you're not putting weight into those knees. Things like we have a lot of exercise, things like glute squeezes, where you just push back with a straight leg. You did some of that kind of stuff in a bar program, which we have coming in March. So it's just ways to put a little less pressure on those knees. You can do things like get on all fours, like, you know, and then push your leg out like the old fire hydrant. Remember the Jane Fonda fire hydrant? Jane was my hero. And I'm here to tell all of you who are listening that I wore the butt thong leotard with the belt on my waist with permed hair, and we used to have a headband microphone that came around, high top Reeboks, the whole 9 yards. We've come a long way, baby.
We've come a long way, baby. I love it.
Long way. So, and I know we have a lot of questions that are just coming in right now too, Kate. I don't know if you can see all of those.
Bunches of questions about weight loss. So men and women who want to lose a goal weight, let's say it's 10, 20, even 50 pounds. So what do you recommend somebody who has a goal weight that they're trying to reach? Well,
I mean, it's all about, you know, figuring out, you know, first of all, being realistic about how long it's going to take you. And then it's all about 50% what you're putting in your mouth, 50% what you're doing with your body. So you absolutely have to think about the number of calories and the type of calories. When it comes to food, I always say 2 Qs, quality and quantity. So I think it's pretty obvious that we eat too much in America. So if you want to, you know, you got to eat smaller portions. Now, if you're the kind of person like me, like I love to munch, right? So eat vegetables, because vegetables are pretty much free foods, according to Weight Watchers, right? You can knock yourself out. Eat a stalk of broccoli, bag of carrots. You know, you're not going to gain weight from doing that. Eat more fruit, because that's nature's candy, and it's delicious, and it's low calorie and full of nutrients. So you can eat larger quantities of those, but smaller quantities of some of the things that, you know, have more calories in it. It's calories in, calories out when you really, really simplify it. So quantity of food, eat a little less. Quality, get more nutrients to your body so it works properly. You have more energy. And then you got to exercise. You got to move. You got to burn off those calories, because most of us spend a good 80% of our day sitting. I mean, that's like a real, you know, stat out there. So we have to find ways to move our body more. Get your workout in. Get maybe 2 or some people will, you know, email me and say, what if I do 1 20-minute workout in the morning and 1 at night? And I'm like, thumbs up. That's awesome. Break it up. It doesn't have to be all together. All movement at the end of the day counts. And the calorie burned at 6 a.m. is the same calorie burned at 6 p.m. Whatever it takes is the key. So, you know, and I did see a question that came in on the GHU Facebook page about what should I eat when I got the munchies. Yes. And I'm right there with you. I'm a popcorn person, and I'm giggling because all of my college roommates, if any of them were on here, they'd be like, no kidding. I mean, we were like the queen of popcorn. First of all, it was cheap when we were in college, but second of all, you know, it's a fairly decent food if it's not covered in cheese and extra sugar and caramel. It's a fairly decent munchy food that you can eat a lot of and get less quality calories. But I'm a big veggie person. Like, I'll dip, when I want to munch, I'll dip veggies in hummus or guacamole. Just go easy on the dip. I love things like
what about for a sweet craving, Chris? Because we're getting some questions about what you snack on for sweet cravings.
Okay. I have a sweet tooth. I love Greek yogurt, but I eat dairy, so it depends on if you eat dairy. And I'll just add like a little bit of a sweetener in there just to give it a little something. I buy the plain, and then I'll add in some almonds. This is kind of what I do like every night. I add in a few almonds and a couple dark chocolate chips. Just a couple. I mean, and it's amazing, and that will satisfy my sweet, as well as when you eat healthy fats, by the way, it kind of curbs your cravings. So by having those almonds in there and the fat in the yogurt, it curbs my craving. That's my favorite go-to for sweets.
We have a really good question coming from Gail. She has a shoulder injury that she's rehabbing, and I think this will apply to a lot of people who might have rotator cuff issues or injuries like that. Should she be using a heavier weight on her injured shoulder and a larger weight on her healthy shoulder, or will that hurt her in the long run?
Well, how bad is her injury? Say that again.
She just said that she's rehabbing on a shoulder injury. She didn't say what type that she has.
Okay.
But she's wondering if she should use a smaller weight on that injured shoulder.
Yeah, so perhaps if you had a surgery, or depending on the injury, you might even be attending some sort of physical therapy, and the physical therapist will give you the go-ahead that, you know, you start with range of motion, just making sure that everything feels okay. Then you add weight to it. So you know, a lot of times people will use a lighter weight on the injured shoulder than the other shoulder. If you did that for a year, yeah, that would be a problem because this shoulder would be stronger than this. But while you're rehabbing, it's okay to use different weights. Also, though, you could just go lighter in the shoulder that's healthy, and just nurse that hurt shoulder, and as it starts to feel better, increase the strength up. But it all really depends on the injury.
Great. Are there any exercises you can do to reduce your bust size?
Oh my gosh. You know what? So many people ask that. I know. Isn't it funny? Because God gives us different gifts, my friends. Yeah, I have some women, who are like, I wish I could increase my bust. Other people are like, oh my gosh, I'd do anything to reduce my bust. You can't get rid of breast tissue. You can't get rid of breast tissue with diet and exercise. A little bit, but typically, though, if you've got extra, through, like I call it the bra bulge or the armpit, a cardio, get that cardio in, burn those extra calories, start to build some muscle. In a lot of our programs, we're doing a lot of overhead stuff. We do chest presses, we do push-ups. You want to strengthen those muscles and then reduce the upholstery on the outside. And that's going to help you reduce reduce chest size. Reducing breast tissue is a little iffy. Whether sometimes when people lose oodles of weight, they will lose a little breast tissue, but not often.
Okay. Vicky is asking, what kind of exercises you would recommend to somebody who's suffering from chronic pain?
Well, it depends on what the chronic pain is. Like rheumatoid arthritis can be chronic pain. Is it joint pain? Joint pain, I will tell you, for most people, now if you have rheumatoid arthritis, you're probably dealing with your doctor and kind of figuring that out. But if you have like basic arthritis, if you have just achy joints that are stiff, because that happens when we get older. Let me tell you, when I wake up in the morning, that's how I know my age, because my back is a little stiff, my body's a little stiff, I have to kind of get it moving. But one of the best things to fight pain is movement. But of course you have to be intuitive. So, if you've got chronic pain in your knees, you're not going to start doing jump squats because that's probably not going to help. But you want to keep moving. Eating healthy. Omega-3s are great for, I always kind of say it's like oiling the joints, omega-3s. They're really good for you. Coconut oil is really healthy for your body. Kind of doing some of those nutrition things that can help the ease pain and inflammation. A lot of times pain, and I don't know what your pain is, but pain can be due to inflammation. And inflammation will happen from stress, pollution, poor eating habits, chemicals, preservatives, additives, and if your diet is full of yucky packaged food, your body will incorporate a lot of inflammation. I know people who have gotten off packaged food and gone for like all the real fruits, nuts, seeds, veggies, lean proteins, healthy foods, and all of a sudden they're like, oh my gosh, my pain has disappeared. So inflammation could be a part of that too. And drink more water.
Always, right? All right, Shanice is asking about walking workouts. She's fallen in love with some of your older prevention walking workouts, and she started to eat really healthy for the last couple weeks. She's wondering, can she lose weight and get fit by just using walking workouts and some strength training?
Yes, it is all a matter of how intensely you are walking. And that goes for almost everything. But typically, if you are skipping or jogging, your heart rate's going to get a little higher. So when you're walking, I encourage you to get to a place where you are breathing through your mouth, where you can no longer just breathe through your nose comfortably. You need to get to that heart pumping place. So it's kind of an interesting question. I led a boot camp this morning at the Mall of America. I was hired by the company Medtronic, if any of you know it, and they had a big program going on at the Mall of America with people who came in from all over the country, and so I led 60 people around the Mall of America this morning on a walking boot camp. And I was getting them to get their heart rate up, and a couple of them had said that same thing, like, can I even get my heart rate up walking? And I said, watch. So what did we do? We started walking. We were, moving our arms. We were walking at a quick pace. We did some shuffling. We stopped at every corner of the mall, and we did squats and lunges, and before you know it, everyone's heart rate was up. So it's all about really keeping that heart pumping pace. And I would recommend, if you liked my old prevention Walk Yourself Fit, if that's one you're talking about, you will really love Walk and Tone. Walk and Tone is a new program. It's on Get Healthy UTV, and it incorporates walking with weights and will help you get your heart rate up a little more.
Great. What are your thoughts on a vegan diet and a vegan lifestyle?
I think it's wonderful if it's important to you. My daughter, who's now 22, she was vegan for 4 years, and she was good at it. And I learned a lot about how to be vegan because whenever we were together, she lived in a different city, but when she came home or when we were traveling together, I learned how to avoid all animal and all dairy. The hardest thing for me was dairy because I'm not a milk drinker, but I love yogurt. And just avoiding, like I will eat dairy occasionally and don't want to have to worry about it. But she found lots of ways to be, to get all her nutrients in. I used to kind of press her on protein a lot, like, hey, are you getting enough protein since you aren't eating any animal products? But she ate a lot of quinoa, she ate a lot of nuts and seeds, so she really did her research on how to do it. Now she's vegetarian because, she started eating a little yogurt. So she moved into vegetarianism and eggs. She added a yogurt and eggs. But I think it's fantastic. I think, you do what works for your body. And at the end of the day, I personally have nothing wrong with animal products. I don't have anything against it. However, fruits and vegetables, plant-based diet is really important. So get enough plants in your diet. That's important for even meat eaters.
Great. We're getting lots of questions about belly fat, and I know we talked about Pilates and some core workouts and how that will help belly fat. Do you want to just target the belly with those workouts, or do you need to do complete total body workouts to target belly fat?
Good question. And the answer is both. Both. You're never going to get toned abs by laying on the ground and only doing crunches. Like I said earlier, if you were listening, crunches are not bad. They're not like a horrible exercise. But the bottom line is you need to work your body. Think of your body like a sculpture. You got to work it from all angles, not only to look better, but to feel better, to stay multidimensional so you can function in your everyday life. So Pilates is great. Ab focused workouts are great, but then cardio is great to burn off the extra layer of upholstery, as I've been calling it. And total body workouts are great because they force you to be aware of your core. During my workouts, those of you who work out with me on Get Healthy UTV, I talk a lot about, connect your abs, contract your abs, make sure your abs are working. So adding in those total body workouts where you are lunging and moving in different directions and you're sometimes jumping and you're planking and all that stuff is great for your core and to start strengthening and flattening that core. Also, I want to point out, I have a bad back, and a lot of you, I'm sure, don't know that, but it's gotten better over the last 4 years because I've really learned how to move intuitively with my body. I've learned what hurts me and what doesn't, and there are a few things that hurt me. For me, deadlifts are not good for me personally. Again, you have to listen to your own body and get intuitive. I started finding ways to improve my squat and lunge. And that started increasing the strength of my glutes and started taking off the pressure of my back. But jumping doesn't hurt me. Light, jumping in terms of like squat jumps and lunges, that doesn't hurt me. But if that hurts somebody, then don't do it. I want you to know that in all my workouts, I know I kind of took a fork in the road, but my brain was just thinking about this. All of you Get Healthy UTV members, if jumping isn't for you, then modify it. Just skip the jumping part. Go for range of motion and still work hard. And those of you who are like, hey, I love all those plyometrics, go for it. I really want to meet you at whatever your fitness level is and keep you motivated to keep trying for more.
Lindsay is writing in, and she's a huge fan of yours. She's in a larger frame, so she's wondering what kind of workouts she can do to build up endurance so she can keep up with him when they're traveling.
So I don't know. I apologize. I don't know what's going on with the connection. I heard you say, Lindsay, she's got a larger frame and she wants to keep up with somebody when they're traveling. Was it her husband?
Actually, her husband has a larger frame, so he's a faster walker than she is, and she's trying to keep up with him. So what could she do to build up endurance for walking? Well,
first of all, strengthen those leg muscles, squats and lunges, and then it kind of becomes practice. Like kickboxing. Any of you who have done my Power 20 kickboxing, I teach a live kickboxing class on Fridays. And, we're moving pretty quick. And I tell people when they first come in there, hey, don't get discouraged. Like, if you can't keep up at the same pace, that's okay. That's telling you you have room to grow, right? Because agility and movement patterns are kind of guided by our brain, and it's kind of use it or lose it. Like if you haven't been moving fast before, it's going to take some time to build up that speed. So keep on working with it and pushing yourself. Just like when you're punching, you got to work up to punching at that speed. I giggle, Lindsay, because when my husband and I walk together, and my husband is, he's fit, but he always goes, "What is your problem? Why are you walking so fast?" And I always tell him, "To burn up the calories," and he's always like, so he always jokes me, he's like, "I'm about to hit you," because I'm always walking in front of him. But, so do the best you can. But, lunges and squats will help build some strength in the legs too.
We have 2 questions coming in. One regarding your cardio kickboxing workouts, and are you going to add more cardio kickboxing to GHU TV? And the other is asking if you're going to do any BOSU on GHU TV, BOSU workouts. Okay,
that's a good question. Cardio kickboxing, yes. We have gotten so many requests from all of you members that you love the kickboxing as a cardio, program. So yes, I'm going to do another cardio kickboxing. Like I mentioned, we have a bar program coming March 1st. We have a metabolic program coming April 1st. We have potentially, it's either going to be yoga or dance on June 1st. I'll let you know. And those are my friends who are instructing those. And then I'm going to be filming again May time frame, and I'm definitely going to do a kickboxing somewhere in there. I'm going to throw it in because I know you guys want another cardio kickboxing. The dance will be cardio too, though. Regarding BOSU, it's a hard one. I love the BOSU, and those of you who don't know what a BOSU is, it's a half-domed piece of equipment. It looks like a half a stability ball. And BOSU stands for both sides utilized. B-O-S-U, both sides utilized. I love the BOSU, but it's kind of hard because not a lot of people have a BOSU at home. And so that's kind of a hard one, in my opinion, to actually put a full program on. Who knows, down the line, because like I said, I hope you guys will stay members for a really long time. And, we'll have lots of room to get creative. I would really like to add, there is resistance band training in the Move to Lose, which is a beginner program. And there is a stability ball in Rock Your Body Boot Camp, too. But I would like to maybe add resistance bands, potentially. And we're going to be surveying you guys to find out what you have at home. Like, do you have a medicine ball? Or we could add a few of those other products in there as we get moving.
We have a question regarding your personal favorite protein powder. What does Chris Freytag use at her house?
Okay. I use BiPro, B-I-P-R-O. I've talked about it a lot online on our website. Because I'll tell you why. They have an unflavored. It's called Unflavored Whey. They have a vanilla and a chocolate, which are popular. But they have one called Unflavored, and all it is straight whey protein. If you went like this and tasted it, it tastes like nothing, dust. It's just plain old whey. No additives, no chemicals. And so I dump a scoop of that in. Typically in the morning, my normal shake looks like this. Blueberries, chia seeds, kale, protein powder, almond milk. That's my normal, and a half a banana. Because that banana adds just a little more sweet to it. Sometimes I do banana, PB2 instead of peanut butter. I'm allergic to peanut butter. I don't know why. I'm not allergic to PB2, but I think because I overdosed as a youth because I love peanut butter. Or sometimes I'll put almond butter and then almond milk, chia seeds. I'll sometimes add flax seeds in. So that's kind of my normal one. And I love the BiPro Unflavored. Now, I am a fan of Vega, though. Or Vega. I'm going to have to ask them how to pronounce it. They're a pea and plant-based protein, and they make little packets, and I travel with those a lot. Or sometimes I'll throw those in with blueberries and mango. I use all different kinds of fruit. So BiPro is my #1 whey protein, and Vega is my #1 plant protein.
Great. I think it's Vega.
Vega? Okay.
All right. This is a great question because it pertains to the definition workouts, and I know so many viewers are doing those and loving them. Do you have a modification for surrenders in the definition workouts?
Yeah, so surrenders, those of you who have done definitions, is when you get down on your knees and then stand back up. So you go from standing down to your knees, back up, and you push the weights overhead. So what I do is I double up my mat. If you guys were I probably didn't do that in definitions because I had a big mat down on the floor. But normally at home, I double my mat up because it hurts my knees just to go straight down on them. But if you don't want to do that, just do a squat. don't go down onto your knees, just do a squat instead of coming down. You know, I challenge you guys, what I always say in my live classes is don't feel like you're modifying or you're kind of like, oh, I'm not as good, I can't do it. Think of it as being creative. Like, if I can't do this move, what would be something similar that I could use? And by the way, all of you GHU TV members, so I teach 7 live classes right now per week. And, you know, it'll vary depending on the time of year. But I test all these workouts out of my live classes. I always tell my classes, like, hey, you guys, filming a video next week, so we're going to do this workout and you can give me feedback. So I kind of use my live classes as my test group to try all these workouts on. And so most of these workouts, my classes have done several times.
Great. We're getting close to the end of the hour, so I have to fit my favorite questions in. Here's one of them. What can you do about sciatica?
Well, sciatica is a nerve issue. So, like, for instance, I mentioned earlier I have a bad low back. I have like a 0, almost no disc left between my L4 and L5, but I have been very lucky I have no nerve pain. So once you get that nerve pain shooting down the back of your leg, any of you have sciatica know, OMG, it is painful and it is bothersome. When I was pregnant, I had a dose of sciatica and it was like, ugh. So a couple of things. First of all, I'm a believer in chiropractic because the way that your vertebrae come down, you know, you have all those 24 vertebrae coming down your back, 7 vertebrae in your neck, 12 in your mid-back, 5 in your low back. And then nerves and everything attach into those vertebrae. And if one nerve just gets in the wrong place, it can cause twinging. And, you know, sciatica is basically a pinched nerve. So I'm a fan of chiropractic. Some of you may or may not be, but I would recommend always getting a recommendation for a chiropractor and checking that out. Otherwise, Pilates is really good for sometimes relieving some sciatica, full body roll-ups. There are some stretches in particular in yoga that are good for sciatica, and making sure you get a good stretch in after an intense workout. But it's typically related to a nerve issue, and a lot of times, in my personal opinion, chiropractic is going to be the best way to deal with it.
Great. We have a couple people who are chiming in and want to know what they can do to increase the size of their backside. What can you do to get a bigger butt?
I like big butts, and I don't know why. Okay, how do you get a bigger butt? You don't want one like Kim Kardashian, okay? No, I'm kidding.
No.
Oh, yuck. But anyway, I'm just kidding. But, you know, firm those glutes. Firm those glutes. You got to squeeze your buns, okay? So you can actually do squats and lunges without using your glutes. And, you know, sometimes I call it lazy glute syndrome, where people are squatting up and down, lunging, they're using their back, they're not squeezing their butts. You want to squeeze them like you got a quarter between your butt cheeks. I'm not kidding. Squeeze your buns. Pliés are really good for really being aware of squeezing your buns, but that's how you're going to firm that muscle. And, you know, definitions, we have a lower body in definitions, we have a lower body in HIIT. Those 2 workouts are all about the backside. So try those out.
Great. All right. Which is better to drink, unsweetened almond milk or skim milk or cow's milk?
It's a matter of opinion whether you drink dairy or not and what brand you buy. I just don't drink a lot of cow's milk. I like unsweetened almond milk. I'll tell you why. Because you can buy, depends on what fat level you want, just like milk. You can get skim, 1%, 2%. You can do the same thing with nut milks. And I just like that they're even lower in calories, and I personally love the taste. But, you know, I'm not, either way, I have nothing wrong. You know, I don't have anything against cow's milk. But my kids, when they were little, my boys, now they like milk as grown-ups. But they did not like milk. And I used to freak out and ask my pediatrician, like, oh, my gosh, my boys don't like milk. You know, all boys like milk. How are they going to get enough calcium? And, you know, the doctor told me, like, you know, get them eating veggies. Green veggies have more calcium than cow's milk. Nut milks, you know, all different things. So, you know, drink cow's milk if you like to, but it's not the only form of calcium. And I personally like the taste of nut milks. So
great. This is our last question, and we got a few of these this evening. But
okay.
What kinds of things can you do to reduce bloating?
Good question, because as we get older, it becomes a bigger problem, ladies and gentlemen out there. Bloating is like chemicals. fake sugars, artificial flavors, you know, all of that junk, all that crap you put in your body. As we get older, it affects you even more, and it literally like you can get stomach distension. You literally can. You want to eat a lot of fiber. Nature's broom helps you sweep it through. I've been laughing because, and we've been laughing about this in the office, that there's so many articles about poop lately. I'm like, okay, really? Do we have to talk about it? But, you know, the thing is, look at your labels. Do not eat all those chemicals, artificial colors and flavors. I find it almost nearly impossible to find a cereal without yellow dye in it. Why? Why do they have to put those dyes in it? Fake sugars. All of you guys who drink diet soda and diet this and diet that bloats your stomach. Get back to real fruits and vegetables. Get back to, you know, healthy grains, not white flour and all those things that can really cause bloating. A lot of acidic stuff will cause bloating, and inflammation in the cells will cause bloating. So, but more so than not, it's chemicals and additives, and just stay away from them.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, I cannot believe we are out of time.
I know.
I can't believe it. This has been so fun. Kate, you were so helpful tonight.
Well, thank you. I had a blast.
And all of you who got online, I am so appreciative. And I want to tell you two quick things. I know we have to go, but number one is I want you to know from the bottom of my heart, and all the gals who work with me, we are so appreciative of you, and I enjoy working out with you, and I hope you will continue to work out with me and my friends that will be coming on Get Healthy UTV. And it takes a village. We need to motivate each other. We need to stay together. We need to believe in ourselves. And so this is a journey we take. And so I'm really happy you're taking it with me. I also want you to know that we're doing a little fun challenge, and it's going to be starting approximately March 1st on a Where Do You Plank challenge. You're going to notice it on the GHU Facebook page, the Get Healthy U Facebook page. We're merging the two together, by the way. The GHU TV and the GHU are merging together to become one. And in this contest, we're going to have you upload pictures of yourself planking. We took some pictures of ourselves planking in kind of crazy places. And whoever gets the most comments can win. We're going to have a winner, and you're going to get an annual subscription to Get Healthy UTV if you don't already have one. Otherwise, you can give it to somebody. We're going to get a 30-minute Skype with me, just you and me together, to answer your own personal questions. We can Skype or FaceTime, and you're going to get a fit pack full of fun stuff like colorful sports bras and headbands. So I hope you guys will plank with us. So that's it. Good night. We love you. Thanks so much for participating. Thanks, Kate.